Speaking of peace, peace means being civilized, not killing others, being fair, and not discriminate in any way or form. If you have a difference with someone, you should talk it out in a civilized manner. The prophets who are referred to in Christianity and Judaism, of course in some form in Islam too, but in Judaism and Christianity, the prophets of the Old Testament are still referred to. The respect they give to Moses, Elijah, Saul, and Jacob is of the highest order. But some of them have committed genocide. They didn't even leave one person alive. For example, there is a story in the Old Testament of Saul killing, on the order of the prophet Samuel, all people of a particular nation. And when they left, when Saul and his people left, and his soldiers, Saul was a king, left, the king of that nation live and let the best of the animals live, Samuel said, God is not happy with you. So Saul had to kill the king anyway. So in that verse it said, he hewed him to pieces. And the animals too. Of course, that was the loving God of the Old Testament. Now, how peaceful is that? Moses, in Exodus, has received the 10 Commandments. One of them is, thou shalt not kill. He comes from the cave where he received it. They say it's Mount Sinai. And he comes down and he sees the Israelites, his people, who he took so much care of and took them from Egypt. He saw them dancing and worshipping the calf, the golden calf. And he went berserk. He said, what is this, Aaron? I'm going to have my conversation with God to receive these commandments, and all you do here is partying, you heathens. And Aaron says, well, these people, they wanted to worship. You were gone, and I let them do it. I let them put the gold in the fire, and the golden calf came out of it. So they worshipped it. So, in his rage, Moses says, those who are with me, with my God, come to my side. Those who are not, stay there. So all the Levites came to his side. Joshua, his dear Joshua, then was ordered by Moses at the request of God to kill anyone living on that side. Anyone. Women, children, infants, anyone. Just because they worship the calf. Now those were the same people that were part of the Exodus from Egypt, for who God, Yahweh, made so much, went to so much trouble to kill all the firstborns of Egypt. That's one of the 10 plagues. So, in any case, Allah didn't kill any of the firstborns of a particular nation, as Yahweh did in Egypt, as part of the plagues. Muhammad never had a woman or a child being put to death, except maybe one lady, to whom is referred to in the Hadith, of Sahih Bukhari, wherein one lady, Marwan's daughter, who mocked him, and that lady was a nuisance to Muhammad. Well, according to the hadith. And he asked, who can rid me of that lady? That means someone, please kill her. That's the only particular link to Muhammad being violent against a woman or a child. In his wars, in his tribal wars, in his attacks, in his conquest of the Arabian Peninsula, whenever they fought with others, they fought with the men. And when the men were killed, the children and the women were held captive. In most instances, he got the people or the women and the children that they had captured traded for horses and for weapons. So those were people who got to live. In the Old Testament, they would be killed. Even the sucklings, that means the babies. If you don't believe me, just read the first few books of the Old Testament. Also, Elijah and Moses, as in the story just told, had killed or let kill the heathen population. Everyone that didn't believe in their God were to be put to death. That means unbelievers, just because they didn't believe, were to be put to death. Now in Islam, in the Quran and in the Hadith, there is no proof or significant proof that Muhammad ever, or his Allah, ever ordered an unbeliever to be killed just because he doesn't believe. Of course, as in any war, with a soldier against a soldier, it's kill or to be killed. So they killed unbelievers, but not just because they were unbelievers, or when they were without any cause. It was with a cause, and the cause was war. The unbelievers didn't want Muhammad to conquer them, so they fought with them. That's a part of war. That has nothing to do with Allah saying, okay, you know what, there is an unbeliever there, and I don't like the fact that he doesn't love me, so I hate him, so go forth and kill that person, which is to be seen all throughout the Old Testament.